listening to A Band of Gamers, podcasting since 2012. Three older best mates share a few laughs and keep you current with discussions about the latest news, consoles, and games. Join the conversation and the community. abandofgamers.com. It's your boys, we're back. It's been 2 weeks. We're back at you. What's going on?
We're doing another podcast.
You sure are, Shane.
Another one.
Believe that.
Yep.
Every 2 weeks we do this. Like clockwork. Set your clocks to this now. You know? It's your daylight savings time. Programmed in. That's how
Get your popcorn ready.
That's how you do it. In this episode, you can now boost your FPS. And who doesn't want boosted FPS? Am I right? The first meaty Nintendo Direct since the pandemic started. And there are lots of big updates in there. And then they weren't the only one. Sony also dropped a new State of Play this past week that had like a Nintendo Direct kind of feel to it, didn't it?
It was pretty crazy.
And to their credit, a lot of these games are coming out soon. They're not doing the old Sony thing with, hey, here's a game, well, here's a logo. You'll see this again in 4 years.
I'm sure they got a couple of those in the back pocket still.
Yeah, it's coming. Hope you didn't invest too much time in one of those big games as a service games because it's no longer being supported. The contents of our Pine classes will share what we're drinking, and a few games we're playing that deserve mentioning, including Astro's Playroom, Persona 5 Strikers, one I've talked about before that Shane is now playing, and I can't wait to hear his thoughts, Dirt 5.
Ooh.
Before we begin, I'm Joel, your MC, one of your three co-hosts, recording here in Brookfield, Wisconsin, USA, where it's getting warm and the snow is melting fast. It's gone from tons of snow to my whole yard being like a lake. Great. Joining me on this podcast journey, first of all, from Birmingham, England, it's blowing a gale. It's Karl. Hey, Karl.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's blowing a gale in my back garden with my new leaf blower.
Ooh, I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I want to talk about.
It's like grown-up man.
I don't know anyone called Gail. Yeah, no, it's been a while, you know. We always talk about the weather, but I'm getting to that point in my life now where I kind of get excited about stuff that saves time and like gadgets like that really help out, right? I've never had a leaf blower before, and I was looking for one. I thought, I need one that mulches, and you know, the yard's ridiculous. Like I need some help. So I've been enjoying, you know, getting out in the garden, getting out in the sunshine, and you know, just getting rid of these leaves. So I'm on the lookout now for life-changing gadgets, which I shouldn't get as excited about as I do, but you know, getting old. What can I say?
Don't even get me started, man. I could talk about lawnmowers for about half an hour.
I need one.
Save that for next time, maybe. And from Vancouver, Canada, she says there's ants in the carpet. Dirty little monsters. It's Shane. Hey, Shane.
Luckily, you know, I round the group out and bring the average age way down so you don't have to hear about leaf blowers and the snow blower and all sorts of, you know. We keep some video. We do some video game talk today.
Good old Shane's looking for a house here in the future.
What?
You're going to be talking about leaf blowers and lawnmowers, and you're going to be talking about all that stuff, dude.
I'm just talking about writing checks, getting people to do that for me.
Oh,
yeah, pay the man. Get a man right to do it. Or a lady.
Man. Big time.
We'll see. Well, you know, it's shit, man. It doesn't felt like 2 weeks, man. It felt like 2 months, man, to this one. There's lots going on nowadays.
You're kind of thrifty. Doesn't he strike you, Karl, as being a little thrifty? You know, I can't see him. You get to shovel out yourself. You'll do your own snow shoveling. You'll cut the grass. Am I right? You'd be out there with the scissors cutting the grass before you pay somebody to do it.
If I was cutting grass, it would be like one of those old, like the push want mowers.
Yeah,
those old school. It'd be one of those, but
those are
fun.
fun.
My beer drinking time.
Yeah, you'd be looking at the cost of getting someone in, and you'd be like, do you know, I could buy a limited run game, and I could get a case of beer. I'll do it myself. I'll get it sorted. Get out there with the scissors.
Don't worry. There's plenty of case of beer money. There's plenty of limited run money. You know.
Yeah, you're missing an opportunity here, man. Which you'll learn here soon is when you're out mowing the grass. You're drinking beer at the same time. I mean, you're maximizing your lawn time and beer time by combining the two things. And then after you got a good buzz on, you're waving at the neighbors. Hey, what's going on? Got the fridge in the garage. Come on, man. Look it up.
Yeah. Then that's the thing. Then I'd have to worry about neighbors. Ugh.
FPS Boost. Let's get into it here. Went a little too long on all the old man gadgets. FPS Boost. It's Microsoft's marketing and branding term for frames per second. When I first heard this, I thought they meant that because they've been such a first-person shooter console over the years. I'm like, they're doing some sort of first-person shooter boost. What does that mean? I guess this makes more sense. Frames per second boosts. It's on backwards compatible titles. First wave of titles for the Xbox Series S and X have been announced. It's only on the Series S and X. Nothing needed to be done by the developers. Microsoft's doing all the work, but they are partnering with their developer partners, making sure that they don't mind that they're doing this, and then giving them a chance to review anything they've done to make sure they're happy with it and that it maintains all of the game's original intent. Some games are going to be going from 30 to 60 frames a second, others from 60 to 120. That's the boost. In future Xbox, I believe, I don't know if this is out now or if it's coming in the future. I've heard people talk about it like it's out, but I read it's coming in the future, so I'm not sure. But apparently there'll be a little option in the settings to turn this on or off if you don't want your games in boost mode. Isn't that what PlayStation did? Didn't they call theirs boost mode too?
Yeah, there's a boost mode on the PS4 Pro. Yeah, there's a little boost mode thing in there. Yeah.
Why don't you come up with something better than that? Now you're copying Sony with their boost mode. That's kind of
right. Everybody's got to use the same name, you know.
Well, it's too confusing otherwise. People won't know what it is. I mean, Sony, to be fair, they've got the frame rate unlocked on certain games, so that it can be boosted if the frame rate's not set to something. So that's the main difference, I suppose. And when you go from PS4 Pro to PS5 again, like if it's unlocked on PS4 Pro or PS4, like you can run it or whatever, as long as the PS5 can do it. But it's always the best games which seem to be locked. Like this is what people are mad at Bloodborne. It's locked at 30. No matter what. So disappointing, but it's good news. Yeah. It's good news for future games.
Should have called it X mode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't have enough X's going on. That would have been even less confusing.
Right. I'm sure maybe when they get a few more SKUs, by the end of the year, they could complicate things even more.
Yeah, sure.
FPX mode.
Wow.
Wow. Enhanced.
Sign me up.
And just like Karl said, some games won't work with this. So it's not like they're turning it on for everything, but they're going through titles. I don't know if meticulously is the right word. Let's say meticulously, one by one, they're going through the titles and deciding which are capable, which the developers don't mind. I can't even talk. List of games here in the first group of the boosted FPS boosted titles. Far Cry 4, new Super Lucky's Tale, which is in Game Pass, and that one goes up to 120 frames a second now. If you have a HDMI 2.1 and a compatible TV, otherwise that ain't happening. Sniper Elite 4, also in Game Pass, UFC 4, and Watch Dogs 2. So 5 games for starters. Those are the 5 games. There you have it. Sounds like a neat feature, but those 5 games aren't one I'm going to go quickly download and check this out.
Right? It's a cracking list. I shouldn't say that. I mean, there's, Far Cry 4, a huge game. Sniper Elite, a lot of fans of the series. The UFC one kind of stands out to me, though. It's like, really? UFC one? Yeah.
Super Lucky Star says, do you need 120 FPS in a third world platformer? But it's still good to have. Far Cry is an interesting one, though, because that's been, I know 3 in particular was just awful in terms of frame rate. And again, it was, I'm not sure if it was locked or if it was just awful, but it wasn't great. And Far Cry 4, I think, suffers from some similar issues as well. So that could be, if it could run pretty good on that new Xbox.
And more titles coming soon. So hopefully they continue that. I'm sure they will. I was expecting, though, we talked about this in a prior show, some more backwards compatible titles to become playable on the One and the Series. Instead, what we're getting is FPS boosted titles. So I'm curious if does this replace expanding the catalog of backwards compatible titles? I'm still waiting for my Amped 3 to be playable on my Xbox One or my Series X. Or are they just now going to do boosted titles only and stop going backwards on further making their catalog playable? I hope they still spend time going backwards. I want all my games compatible. All the old Xbox games compatible. Keep going. Be curious to find out. That did not spark a conversation with my cohorts. On to the next topic. Nintendo Direct. Another Nintendo Direct happened on 2/17, February the 17th. And it's the first one, I believe, since the pandemic started that they've done a giant Nintendo Direct, and it was packed full of games. Packed. What's your highlights, Karl? What couple games caught your interest in here?
This started off for me as one of the best press conferences I'd seen. Like I sat there like in my Mario pajamas, cuddly Pikachu next to me, and then I see a little bit of Xenoblade, and I'm like, oh man, there's Rex, there's Pyro. What's going on? Pyro's disappeared. I'm thinking, here we go. There's a new Xenoblade game, some DLC. I was super pumped about it. And the reason why Pyro disappeared is apparently she's on Smash. She's got an invite to join Smash Brothers, and I got massively disappointed at that point. I was really, because it was done so well. Like it looked like a proper little trailer for a Xenoblade game, and I got a bit disappointed. But if you like Smash, Pyro and Mithra, and they're both in Smash and looking pretty cool. I like what Nintendo did with it. Although disappointment aside, it was pretty cool to see the kind of setup from that game and then the whole little lead up and then into Smash Brothers. But yeah, I've got all my hopes are raised and dashed in like literally 6 minutes. So there you go.
When's our invite coming to Smash Brothers? I think everybody else is in there already, right? I want a playable Shane in there with like a super beard,
I think at the three of us, that's a good point. Which of us would get in Smash and what would be your special move? I think Shane could open just a massive beer and just spray people with it.
Shake it up.
Yeah. Right, because it's happened so many times on the show. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
He goes and makes it look like he's pouring one and then, let's go.
Spills it, becomes like an oil slick on the board. People are slipping off the map. He's killing people with a spilled beer.
I'm down for a little Turkish wrestling.
Nah, it's cool. They're still supporting Smash. It's been like 3-4 years now that game's been out. So
yeah,
good deal. All you gotta do is pay more money, you get more characters. I don't think they're throwing them in there for free. One of those battle pass kind of packs kind of deals that they continue to expand the game. They announced Fall Guys coming this summer for all you Fall Guy fans. Outer Wilds this summer. Famicom Detective Club. 2 of these apparently. The Missing Heir and The Girl Who Stands Behind are being released in the West for the first time. So prior Japan Nintendo games.
Definitely. Apparently they're 2 really old, kind of visual novel games that I don't remember being released. I'm not quite sure what system they came out on before, but I've got a few of these games sitting there, and never played too many of them. But the ones I have played are pretty decent, in all fairness. And if the story writing's good, if telling a good story, it doesn't really matter about the gameplay, 100%. So this might be one I might pick up, but perhaps on sale. Maybe not dive in there on day one.
Then we've got Samurai Warriors 5 this summer, Legend of Mana, the enhanced version coming out on June 24th. Never played that. Shane, played the SNES version of that game?
I have not.
It's a SNES game, right?
Yeah, I think it goes back to it. Yeah.
Legend of Mana, yeah. I think Secret of Mana had a remaster. Secret Master had like a remaster and a physical release. I think it might be last year, it might be the year before. And then it sounds like, Legend is next on the list.
Monster Hunter Rise, March 26th, and on the new Switch. And then they have a special edition Pro controller that has some Monster Hunter graphics on it.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna sell like hotcakes, that game, man. That's gonna be perfect on the Switch, man. You own the Switch, man, you gotta get yourself some Monster Hunter Rise. It's gonna be good.
Next one I was pretty excited about. I know Shane as well. Mario Golf Super Rush. Love me some Mario Golf games, man. It was one on the GameCube I really liked. I think it was on the 64 as well. Nice to see it coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got some sort of rush mode where you race out there, and I that doesn't. I just give me the Mario Golf and I'm good. I don't need the little gimmicks.
I think that rush mode could be good though. Like it looks pretty fun. Like everyone just trying to just get the ball potted as quick as you can. Like
right.
I'm gonna, and you can knock your opponent's balls out of the way and stuff. So that could be pretty fun, man. Like get your buddies round. Whenever we can do it, or maybe online.
Get all fired up.
Yeah, a few beers. It could be fun.
It could be fun. Coming June 25th. It's right around the corner. I love it. I love how Nintendo does that. These games come out so quick. Tales from the Borderlands is making a Switch debut. This is on March 24th. Just a month away.
Good little Telltale game that I've yet to play through. I still own that one. I gotta finish that one. That's Telltale.
It's an easy plat though. I'm surprised. And do you know what? The story's really good as well. Like if you're a Borderlands fan and before you play, but Borderlands 3,
it's got some of the characters like
pre-sequel and stuff. It all ties in really well. Like I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing through that, I must admit. But then I do like the Telltale games. Telltale games? Can't get my words out.
Couple games that we've been able to play and buy before that we can play and buy again. Capcom Arcade Stadium, just like a repackaging of some old arcade games.
Yeah.
You leaned in like you were going to say something, and all I got was yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, good.
Packaged.
Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse. This is previously on the Xbox with
such a great
famously with
that title.
The Halo engine coming out March 16th, but it doesn't look like it got much of an upgrade. Just kind of sort of the same game running on a Switch.
Oh, is that? I did wonder about this because I'd never heard of it. And there was a little bit of buzz. People were quite excited about it. And I thought, okay, maybe it's got some nostalgia factor or something. So I think you've just explained to me where that comes from.
Yeah, it must be nostalgia for some people. I never played it. I don't think it reviewed very well, if I remember correctly. I know it's on, back when it was on the Xbox, I got like a little sticker on the packaging that said something like, made in the Halo engine. That was like the selling point, the marketing gimmick, If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3 coming out August 27th. It's your guy, Shane.
No More Heroes. Why does that sound familiar?
Suda 51, right?
I don't know.
No?
Sounds familiar. No More Heroes. That's not...
It's originally a Wii title.
Okay, I'm thinking of a completely different game.
But isn't that Pseudo 51? Am I going to screw something up already on the show? I didn't take notes on this.
No.
I thought it was him. All right, skip right past that. Neon White coming winter of 2021. I don't even remember that one in the presentation. Must be a Japanese RPG.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it didn't really. It wasn't much, to be honest. It was. I didn't know whether it was like an arena-based game or whether it was an RPG or what. So, yeah, it didn't look that great either way.
DC Superhero Girls Teen Power.
Oh yeah,
Teen Power.
June 4th looked like it could be a fun little game for the kids and adults alike potentially. If you like this sort of thing.
Yeah,
cutesy looking Lego, almost style humor and graphics, kind of sort of very kid friendly. I guess looked like to me.
Definitely one for the kids, and I think it kind of leads into the. They've got I think there's a cartoon series with it's the female like the girl characters, and they're going to high school and stuff like that, and it's all linked into that, and like looks in a very cartoon style, similar to the actual show itself. So yeah, that could be one that kids might enjoy.
Kind of weird though. The action and the fighting looked decent, but then they had like the high school girl thing about passing notes around. It's just kind of weird. Like who are you aiming that at? Like teenage girls? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an odd choice. Maybe that'll be a big hit. No clue. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which is out on the other systems, coming to the Switch March 19th. Some more of your first-person shooter style Plants vs. Zombie games. Third person, actually. Excuse me, third person.
Second person.
Second person. Miitopia, coming May 21st. I remember this on the 3DS or a similar version of it with the Street Pass, where you could walk by people and have your 3DSs in standby mode. I remember one MGC sitting at the bar. All of us nerdy twats up there with our 3DSs as people walk by, like, hey, I got another one. And then you go do some little grindy kind of game to get your whatever. I don't know. It was okay. But the fun was like just randomly getting it to go off. Like you're at the airport, you're walking around, you're swinging your bag by everybody else's bag, like ding, 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 come on, please. I hope you got like a 3DS in standby mode like me because we're dorks and I can get some stuff out of this. It was pretty fun though. So this has some potential, this Miitopia. May 21st, Mario items are coming in Animal Crossing. February 25th, who cares? Project Triangle Strategy. It's a working title, definitely a Japanese RPG. Karl, 2022 on that one. Look good or no?
It's a working title. When it looked at it, it reminded me of oh god, what was that? What was that RPG? Octopus something?
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler. I thought it was a sequel to it when I first saw the animation style and stuff. Definitely one I'm going to keep an eye on. Although it's saying that I should probably finish or play more of Octopath Traveler if I'm going to do that, but that's another story.
And we've got Star Wars Hunters 2021. Looks like an online game.
Yeah, it looks like a Fortnite, like a battle royale kind of thing. It did say it was a free to play arena kind of game, so something along those lines. But Star Wars, I'll play it.
Knockout City, May 21st, coming to other consoles as well. We'll talk more about that later. World's End Club, May 28th.
Another one I like the look of.
It's another RPG, right?
Yeah, it's by the guys who did the games. It's like had a couple of them on the Vita and on the 3DS, like 0 Hour and Zero's Escape and stuff. Like it's like a visual novel where you get people trapped in like a complex in a series of rooms. You have to figure the puzzles out, and some of them die, some of them escape. Virtue's Last Reward, I think, was a good one on the Vita.
Oh, yes. I do have that on the Vita.
Yeah, I think I platinumed that game, actually. It's fun to play through and see the different endings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good one. So, and this looked like a weird spin on it where they're all trapped and then all of a sudden the game is cancelled and they kind of go out into the real world and they're thinking, we've got to figure out what's going on here. And the real world is kind of deserted or something's gone on. So, yeah, that could be fun.
Next up, Hades. Very popular game from last year is getting a physical release. So for you who don't have internet, no, it's probably more for people who collect cartridges, right? Want the physical edition? That's coming out
I have
March 19th.
Yeah, I have ordered this one. It does come with the digital soundtrack and some other stuff. And it's a lot more than you can get the game on Steam for about 15 quid in a sale, and I have got it digitally already, but 35 quid for the physical copy. And I'm more likely to play this kind of game on the Switch, I would imagine. So, yeah, that's looking forward to having that one.
Next up, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. All 3 games originally on Xbox and Xbox 360, if I recall. June 10th, that's coming. Brutally difficult games, so not one I played a whole lot of.
Yeah, likewise, don't think I'd jump on that, but hey, man, when you get that NES Classic, man, you get the best Ninja Gaiden game on there.
You better have
a second one, I think.
You better have a Pro Controller too if you're going to play this on the Switch. I wouldn't be using Joy-Cons to play a game like that.
Yeah, no, man, you got to get that. You got to get that Pro Controller. I recommend that to everybody, man. Everybody know that it's like, hey, man, because people talk to me all the time, right? People ask me, like, hey, I want to get a Switch, and I, find them a Switch. And I always recommend you gotta get yourself that Pro Controller. Spend the money. You're already spending, hundreds of dollars on a beautiful system, man. Spend a little bit more. Get that Pro Controller. You're welcome.
Way to go. Giving people advice, and you don't even have one yourself. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just you standing like on a street corner, you see someone going into the shop, you're like, hey, you buying a Switch? Well, yeah. You're in luck. Get yourself a Pro Controller while you're in there.
Right? People, signing babies.
I love it, man. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting an expansion. Starts in May, rolls into June and November updates. So a little bit of Zelda. This whole conference, I'm waiting for Breath of the Wild 2 to be revealed so I could I'll scream like a schoolgirl pretty much. I'm excited for this game. I'm like watching it with the popcorn, like, come on, where's my Zelda? And I get a little taste here with Age of Calamity expansion, but not the full taste, not what I wanted yet. Let's keep going. Bravely Default 2 coming to the Switch.
Yep, more of the same of the first game. First game was good, so this should be too.
The Ghost and Goblins Resurrection, which is out now, and when it was announced in this thing, or when the date was revealed in this thing, was announced previously, February 25th. That has co-op, but it's out now, and it's getting kind of shitty reviews from the looks of it. It's just a beautiful looking game, though.
Yeah,
beautiful looking game. Those games are too hard for me. I enjoyed them back in the day, but never completed one, and didn't have the patience to complete one. But I thought they really the coat of paint they put on this, man, it really sparkles. Looks pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it does look good. Does look good. And it's got a little co-op mode as well, which is meant to make it easier, I guess. It looks like you've got like a little ghosty companion, kind of like in Spelunky when you die, and you can add a bit of help with like building platforms, or helping you jump and things like that. So yeah, I'm surprised it's getting hammered. Like it can't be too hard to make one of those games. Like you've got the formula there, right? You know exactly what you got to do, and it doesn't seem like it's been well received.
Yeah, I haven't read any of the reviews, but I am a guy that likes to on the internet just look at a number on those websites that give a number. And I'm just kind of curious, like, what number did it get? Okay. Then I didn't read it. I'm not going to buy it, so I don't really care. I didn't read any reviews, but it did look gorgeous from the looks of it. If I were a fan of that series, I would probably buy it without reading reviews. Saga Frontier Remastered, out April 15th.
Yeah, I don't even ever remember that one.
I don't either, man. Apex Legends is coming to the Switch on March 9th, available everywhere else. And I believe it's cross-platform, correct?
Yes. Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Then we get to this next game, which, after they revealed this game, I realized, I guess that's the nail in the coffin on my Breath of the Wild 2 being revealed in this thing.
Come on, man. It's the Zelda game you were waiting for, right?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, Skyward Sword HD. This is a Wii title that had waggle movements. You had to use your Wii, what do they call it? Nunchuck? What's that thing called?
Yeah,
the Wiimote.
Nunchuck.
The Wiimote. You had to use that like a sword to get through the game. Man, that really upset me. And the way they framed it too. They said pretty much, we know you're waiting on Breath of the Wild 2. You have to wait a little while longer, but you're in luck. This game is the first time they use the parachute, just like in Breath of the Wild. You could play this, and you Breath of the Wild people are gonna love this. Man, I'm not Wiimoting no sword through a Zelda game. They added controller, proper controller like input to play the game, but still, you have to use your stick to like flick the sword, and it still has that gimmicky kind of sword thing going on.
It's not great. And in his little announcement as well, he was kind of like, we're still working on Breath of the Wild 2. We'll share something more towards the end of the year. And I must be going mad, chaps, because I'm sure that Nintendo said this was out this year, and I'm also sure that Sony said God of War was out this year. Like when it was all announced last year, it was like, coming next year. I could be going mad, and I'm sure the listeners will tell me if I'm making that up. But
you're probably not far off.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty much like, this is going to land next year. Well, it's next year, so.
Oh, come on, man! January 1st. Oh, it's next year. Where I get the man,
dude, it's March
There's
now.
Hiccups. It's a global pandemic,
Yeah.
There's going to be hiccups. Stuff's getting delayed. Gran Turismo 7, it got delayed. Everything's going to get delayed, man. It's going to be good.
That's a surprise. A Gran Turismo game getting delayed? Man, that never happens.
What, 5 got delayed once by 1 month, and now everybody's like, oh, they all get fucking delayed. Getting fired now. Settle down. The games are coming.
I'm not going
to. We're going to have plenty to play.
I don't mean to be too negative on that Skyward Sword. I was just really excited for Breath of the Wild 2. Was hoping it was this year yet. Nintendo's got a track record of announcing the full details and saying it's coming in 2 months. So that was my belief of, but with that, what you just said there, Karl, and what they said, more towards the end of the year, that definitely pushes my game into 2022, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And the frustrating thing, this is a HD, it's not a real remaster, is it? Like it's got a HD lick of paint, and apologies to Skyward Sword, but it was a pretty crappy Zelda game in the first place, and now they want to charge you $50 for it. It's Nintendo; they can do it. But yeah, it's not the news people wanted.
I'd take another version of Wind Waker before I get this. Bought this. Do that again. I know you put it out on the Wii U, but I'd happily play. I'd play it on the Switch. That would be I would eat up just to get me by for a while until that Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. End of the show. They saved their biggest announcement for last. Should have been Breath of the Wild 2. It wasn't because of the global pandemic. I'm sure it's delayed. But Splatoon 3 got an announcement trailer. Very popular Splatoon series. Colorful, fun game that's everybody seems to like. If you're into that sort of thing. Looks like it might be good.
Yeah. Never played a Splatoon game, so hard to get excited for Splatoon 3. See, I should be writing jingles, man. Get me on a podcast or something, man. Get me out there, man. Get all fired up.
Oh man.
You know what, Palmer, you need to get a little fired up this episode, man. We can get
I'm fired up. I've said how excited I was about Xenoblade, and it wasn't Xenoblade.
He's fired up. There we go.
This is about as fired up as Karl gets, Shane.
Right?
This is it.
Karl, you getting Splatoon 3?
No.
Okay.
A lot of people like that game. I've run into a few at MGC over the years. Alicia Renee comes to mind. That beautiful voice on her.
Queen.
She's amazing. And she loved that game. Huge fan. Put hundreds of hours into it. So it's a big reveal for them. It's a very popular franchise. Got some wonderful online components. May not be one that we play, but I could see where it'd be exciting to a lot of people out there.
There is a lot of people that are big fans of the series, and rightfully so. I mean, it's taking a place at the end of their direct. So, yeah.
And then apparently some news came out after that I see in our show notes here, Karl. I didn't know about this. Enlighten us.
Yeah, it was like Pokemon Day or something the other day. World Pokemon Day or an anniversary or something.
It was like the 25th anniversary of
there we go.
Pokemon and whatnot. I know there's a lot of promo stuff going out. I know McDonald's is doing a big thing that people are fired up over and getting more Pokemon cards, and that people are finding cards in there that are worth quite a bit of money and whatnot. I mean, it's one of the biggest franchises on earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, 25 years. So I had a load of Pokemon cards when I was younger. Sold them all, gave them away over the years, but still got a couple squirreled away somewhere. But yeah, this was surprising. Like the anniversary, and they basically said people were hyped. Thinking we're going to get a remake. Carry on the tradition, and they're remaking Diamond and Pearl for the Nintendo Switch, which is not unexpected and pretty cool. If people want to play through those, but they also announced a new evolution in the Pokemon games and how they're going to work. It's very Breath of the Wild, Joel. If you look at the screenshots for this, open world, pretty 3D. It looks pretty cool. Pokemon Legends Arceus and kind of I forget which Pokemon movie it was, but he's one of the legendary Pokemon from one of the films, and something of life, I think. I can't remember, but it looks cool. Like it looks like a new way to play, and having that open world and being able to run around and just capture Pokemon and quests and stuff. Like it looks like it's where the genre should have gone. Quite a while ago, in my opinion. But nice to see that they're taking a step in the right direction. So that could be good. I'll probably end up picking that up, to be honest.
Nintendo, man, they continue to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of games coming out over there. Glad to see it.
Yeah,
and the
never gets old.
a lot of people suspecting that there'd be a Nintendo Switch Pro announcement here as well. Nothing yet announced, but they're still selling like crazy, right? I mean, shame when you're standing outside the door waiting for people to go in and buy them. There's just people lining up. The Switches are still selling.
Round the block.
Right?
They're actually still hard to come by.
Yeah, they're selling really well. So there's no need to announce a Pro yet. No need.
Nah.
Wait till it dies down a little bit. They can just put out some Monster Hunter graphics on another Switch model and call it a day at this point. Well, in other news outside of Nintendo, Anthem officially canceled as BioWare staff focus on Dragon Age and Mass Effect. So the game will continue to exist. You can still play it. It's just not getting any further development.
Fair.
Yeah. So game's a service game that didn't do as well as they had anticipated. Had it done better than they anticipated, probably continue to staff it and throw money at it. But if you're big into that game, you're probably a sad day, right? You play these, you put hundreds of hours into these games, and it's like pull the rug out from under you. Mm-hmm. I guess that's one of the dangers of going and playing these games, though, too. Sorry.
I did see some tweets from people asking for a refund after.
It was free to play, wasn't it?
Oh, my God.
No, it wasn't free to play, but like, if you jumped in on day one, no, I don't think it went cheap pretty quickly because it was
full priced at release. It was a $60 game.
Yeah, it was a $60 game, and there were people who bought it, played it, finished it. But who've now pulled out their copies going, well, I can't play my game anymore. Give me a refund 2 years later.
Hey, I still got my copy of Mag.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
we had some great times playing Mag. That 256. 256, man, that battlefield was insane. Man, the maps are huge.
Mag
was only like two. It was. It had a good run. But hey, guess what? That one got canceled. It was server shut down and you couldn't play it anymore. But
yeah. Shock horror if you buy an online
it happens
service game. Yeah, this is what happens. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of hours in Warcraft, and they close World of Warcraft at some point. It's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a couple of years yet on that one.
Oh,
at least ABOG will still be around.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Long after all your favorite games are gone and dead.
Long after you're dead, we'll still be here.
It's going to be a long time before that.
The talks about garden equipment and everything else changes to nursing homes. Yeah. We'll be living it.
Just be me here. You're just all fired up.
Can you recommend the hospice?
Just be eating 30.
Right.
Oh, well, we're trying to keep this to an hour. Right. We're already at like 35 minutes. Let's push this thing along. PlayStation had a state of play, which felt very much like a Nintendo Direct presentation. I thought they did a very nice job with this presentation. Lots of production, nice and tight, yep. on point. Let's go through the list here. Crash Bandicoot 4 has a PS5 update where they've added native 4K 60 frames, adaptive trigger controls, enhanced 3D audio with compatible headsets, and an upgrade option from 4 to 5. What does that mean? You have to pay a couple bucks and you get the new one?
I don't think you have to pay to upgrade for that one. I think it is just an upgrade to get the 5. If I remember seeing the state of play correctly. Yeah, there's an upgrade option.
Okay.
I think if you've bought the game, it's a free upgrade for you.
That's coming out on March 12th, and they're using those. What do you call it? I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. The moments, the cards that save in your system, where you can go to you can jump to the fights or jump to the scenes and stuff. They've added support for that too, which seems cool.
Yeah, right now, as far as I know, every PS5 game has it. It was weird that they mentioned that in there. It's kind of like they're just kind of like, backhandedly promoting that aspect or feature of the PlayStation 5. Really, I thought it was weird that they mentioned it because it seems kind of normal for at least the games that I've been playing. So
I'm sure first party games will have it, but when a third party developer puts time and effort into it, I think it's worth mentioning.
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah. Maybe Sony said, "Hey, mention it. And we'll give
that's what I'm saying.
Give you the front spot of our show or something." I don't know.
Who gets the front spot of our show? Really?
Me.
Well,
naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they came across a lot more arrogant than I intended. The next game they showed. Next game they showed Returnal, coming out April 30th, right around the damn corner. It's a third-person sci-fi shooter from Housemarque, who has made some very good games over the years. This one looks like it has a lot of potential. It really caught my interest.
Yeah, same here. I'm not a big sci-fi shooter guy. Like that part of it, like kind of like I wouldn't normally notice, but how smooth this game ran, and it just was like, whoa, this looks like it could be something. And I see it's Housemarque, and Housemarque's made some fantastic games. It's like, whoa, okay, they've kind of shake things up a little bit here, and they're doing something a little bit different than what they normally do, and it looks really freaking good. Looks really good.
It does. I had to bear that in the back of my mind as well, because I was looking at it and I was thinking, this game looks so fast and so hectic and so difficult, and with all the bullet hell and stuff. And I was like, oh, but it's a Housemarque game, so you know it's going to be structured in the right way. Like, you know, the difficulty rating is going to be bang on, I'm sure. So this looked really cool, and I like the story elements. You know, it does seem like there's a bit of a decent story to it. So yeah, out soon, and you know, there's not a whole lot out, so maybe this will get picked up.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, I like the look of it. The fact that you have to, there's a lot of dash, a lot of dodging. They put a huge emphasis on that. There's some very different attack patterns from a varied enemy base. Looks hard. Definitely, they hit on that, right? It's gonna be difficult, but worth your time and energy. Worth the investment. It'll pay off. It just a very cool style to it as well. The bad guys looked like proper badass. Looked really cool. Some crazy horror looking bad guys in there. The opposite of the look of this next game, Knockout City, which also now announced on the Nintendo Direct, is coming May 21st. Crossplay beta coming soon. You can sign up on their website to get in on that. Very much a Fortnite style game, kind of with sports kind of tied in.
That's the first thing I thought was like Fortnite dodgeball.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Not one for me. I don't think. There's so many of these games out, and it's a high barrier to entry, isn't it? You know, you get invested in the ecosystem for these games. You know, the battle passes. You know, and it's going to take a really, really catchy, fun game to wrestle some of that market share. But let's see, man, it's probably going to be free to play. I hope it does. You know, it might be worth checking out.
Yeah, all these publishers and developers want a piece of that action, right? If you can get the next Fortnite, the amount of money involved there, it's like winning the damn lottery. So I can see why they keep trying, but it's got to be a hell of an uphill battle to dethrone something like Fortnite. You better put out a damn good game. And of course, putting it out on beta, letting people get in it right at the ground floor, that may help.
Oh, the problem, I mean, people are, or I shouldn't say people, but it seems like a lot of games are taking things from Fortnite, which is kind of the problem to me. Like you're keeping it, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, there's people that love Fortnite, and that's their jam and whatnot. And you know what? Power to you. You know, play the crap out of it. They keep adding stuff. It's, you know, quickly become probably the fastest growing franchise in gaming history. I mean, it's insane, but. You know, I mean, there's elements of Fortnite in NHL, like, you know, yeah, there's silly little things that they've added in, and it's like, you know, maybe developers just, you know, when you get home, maybe not fire up Fortnite, and you know what, watch a hockey game once in a while. You might learn something.
Well, they added a mode to Forza Horizon, didn't they? Where it's like a 100-car battle, and the map gets smaller and smaller, and you have to race around and stay in the map, and you know, and there can only be one winner. Yeah, I don't get it. I'd love to know what the motivation for these devs, man. Like, you know, I'm not knocking Knockout City. Oh, that's a tongue twister. But like, you know, you're making one of these for years. Like Fortnite's just come out, and you're making one of these for years and years, and you're like, this is going to be it. This is the Fortnite killer. This is going to be the one. Like, bless them.
Shane's right though. It's got to be something totally original. You can't just have a derivative of a Fortnite style game and expect it to be the next big thing. Fortnite came out of nowhere. I mean, the game was crap for a couple years, right? Before a year or something, before it really took off. And the momentum that thing has now, it just continues to gain traction. So,
and it was originally, it actually came like a physical copy with an actual disc.
Yep.
And if you have one of those copies, hold on to it. And if you see one out there, grab it. Those are, you know, worth a decent coin. So if you got one, hold on to it.
Yeah, good point. Next game they announced, Sifu, spelled Sifu. It's coming out in 2021. Looks like a modern day brawler. I like the look of this. Think of like Final Fight or Streets of Rage or something like that, but just with almost like a fighting game look to it. But you could tell as you're looking down, like I saw some corridors. You're fighting one guy, but then you're going to move on to the next one, I think, and then the next one. But just like a modern take on a brawler. With more of the one-on-one focused, larger in the screen fighting action that you see more in a fighting game.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Like when the trailer rolled, and the dude he's like practicing. You know, he's going through his moves and stuff, and he kind of comes out the door and he goes into this hallway, and I immediately think of, I don't know if you boys have seen the movie Old Boy, but when he's literally in this it's a classic, but he's basically in a corridor and he's armed with a lump hammer, and he just takes on about like 25 dudes as he's going through this corridor. And I was just like, oh my God, they're making Old Boy the game. But it sadly isn't Old Boy the game, but it does look damn cool. And it looked like the main character, Joel, was like aging, you know, like kind of like he was getting older as it progressed. And you know, maybe like it's a whole time story for, you know, the whole of his life or something. I don't know, but yeah, I was really intrigued, and it looks cool, but it doesn't look too flashy either. So yeah, I'm interested in this one.
A little bit of Dead or Alive in there too, where they're using the environment to like be part of the fight. Where he took a guy's head and kind of smashed it into a table. That looked really cool. And what you said there, Karl, there's a scene in this trailer where he falls down and then grows a beard before he stands back up. It's like, what the hell just happened there?
That's how Karl grows his.
Exactly. Yeah. Get a bed clean shave and wake up.
Get punched out, unconscious, wake up, got a full beard.
Rub made. That was a heavy night. Dude, you've been unconscious for a month. It's one of them nights out. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good night. Next game, Solar Ash. It's a PS4 and PS5 title coming in 2021. To me, it looked a lot like combination of like Gravity Rush and Sunset Overdrive, where you've got some platforming, some movement, and some fighting, and it seemed like a lot of it was tied together. They kept referring to flow in the trailer as a flow to it. Another stylized and decently looking game here.
Yeah, these guys made Hyperlight Drifter, which is a excellent game. It should play more of it, really, to be fair, but like a top-down, kind of like a roguelike, but very similar graphical style, colours. It looks like they took that world and flipped it up into 3D. Completely different game, but yeah, it looks really interesting.
Another game for the kiddies, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, coming in 2021. Since no kids listen to this, we'll go to the next game, Oddworld Soulstorm. PS4, PS5 out on April 6th. Man, that's coming up. And free on Plus for PlayStation 5 owners.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. They do seem to be really ramping up the Plus offerings at the moment. And given the lack of volume of some of these PS5 games, it was surprising. But it said it was free on Plus for PS5, but didn't say free for PS4. So strange that they're just holding that back for PS5 owners, I guess.
Yeah, well, they got to have the PS5 Plus content, right?
Indeed.
Kena, Bridge of Spirits, PS4 and PS5 game, August 24th.
That game looks pretty.
Yeah,
does. Yeah, looking forward to playing that one as well. Looks again looks up the alley. You know, I should be probably have a little space in the diary come August. So yeah, I'll probably be playing that.
Yeah.
Deathloop, PlayStation 5, one of the better looking games I think out of the last E3, or maybe it was whenever they showed off the PlayStation 5 upcoming games. I forget what presentation it was, but that one really got my attention and continues to get my attention. It's a Bethesda title. Bethesda now owned by Microsoft, but still making this game an exclusive to PlayStation 5, which is great. They're honoring their commitments that their arrangements they previously made, and a great looking first person shooter. A lot of potential. No comments? Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's getting somewhat. It's like a PS5 upgrade or something.
Yeah, I think it's another chapter.
Okay.
It's also getting a PS5 upgrade, so it's I'm not too familiar with. I've forgotten a lot about Final Fantasy VII. I never did finish it, but the remake looked pretty good last year, and a lot of people enjoyed it. This is basically dropping a little bit extra and releasing it on the PS5, and yeah, it looks. They had this side by side comparison, PS4 PS5, which I didn't think made it. But the PS4 one looked better than the PS5 in parts. Like I was like, this is really bad comparison to show.
Yeah,
it was like the PS5 has got fog and it's got like misty, backgrounds and stuff, and the PS4 version had like actual fidelity, and I thought that was a very strange comparison. But yeah, if you like it, I'm sure that you'll dig this little bit extra.
All right. Any wrap up thoughts on the Sony PlayStation?
Just on
State of Play.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Actually,
there we go.
No, it's just
buckle up, kids.
It's been announced as the free PS Plus game for March, so which is pretty cool. Like that remake is fairly chunky, right? So
it is chunky.
All right,
you're gonna be an upgrade, but I mean, it's not. I mean, the PS5 version, the upgrade is not coming out for a couple more months. Right.
And
so actually, I mean, there could be a little bit of time to polish. Don't worry about the fog. It could be all right. It could not be all right.
And one word about that upgrade: if you get the free PS Plus version of the PS4 version of this Final Fantasy remake, you won't be able to upgrade it to the PS5 version
for free.
For free,
you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to slap
exactly.
A little,
put a little coin their way.
But exactly, throw them a little coin. Come on. Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, give them all your money.
What else are you going to do with it? Buy beer?
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're 53 minutes in here, guys. We try and keep it to an hour. So I'm going to roll through the next two sections. We're going to share what's in our pint glasses. I'm so excited over here, Shane. I was just motioning that I'm kind of sweating here in the sweat, nice. The sweat area.
Sweating bullet.
Well, you're fired up.
Right? Yeah, that's how I get fired up. I just start sweating profusely.
There you go. Taking notes, Palmer.
We got a new podcast review. This is great. Thank you so much to Psalm 67.
Yay!
Legend.
He said 5 stars every time. Awesomely cool dudes and awesome gaming chat as well. As beer and sometimes music. Love these guys. Thank you so much for the review. You're a legend.
See, this guy knows.
Friend of the
Ireland. Show. That's what I mean.
True gent. Thanks, Con.
Yeah, knows a bit about podcasting himself.
Sure does. Should definitely check out the last save loaded if you haven't listened to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, man. And to all of you out there, if you want to drop us a review, we'd appreciate it. You can do that on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We love hearing from you, just like we did there at Psalm 67. A couple new Discord members wanted to shout out. Octo and Aerozep both joined us over on Discord. Thank you so much, guys.
Nice. Welcome.
Indeed.
Awesome to have you. Some great conversations going over there. Helps break up my day. And hopefully helps break up yours. But join us up over there. Let's hang out. So thank you so much for the reviews and for joining us on Discord. Let's talk about what we're drinking.
No. It's not uncommon for a lot of craft breweries. Seems like a lot of beer masters and whatnot. A lot of people. This is kind of Joel and Karl's age, and there's some younger breweries that are my age, who grew up with a lot, the 8-bit and 16-bit, the golden era of gaming, officially. So there's a lot of video game tie-ins to the beer, whether it be the name or whatever. Usually just the name, because you can't really put pixels in a beer, but if you could. I better patent that real quick here. Anywho, so I am drinking a Northwest IPA.
Yum.
From BNA Brewing. They're located in Kelowna, British Columbia. Beautiful. Kelowna, British Columbia. And this is Big Mario. And cans, kind of not quite generic, but it's kind of cool. Video game. It's got the same kind of font. Got the nice press start on there. Like I said, this is a Northwest IPA. Very, very nice. Very proper, piney, golden color, slippery to the touch. It's beautiful, beautiful beer. It's a very tasty one, weighing in at 6.5%. I'd say that's a good welterweight.
Yeah.
Maybe super welterweight. That's a welterweight.
It's probably
6.5-ish. Yeah.
It's like a middleweight almost. 6.5. No?
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost, man. I think 7% is when you start to get into the middleweights in my IMO. LOL.
If you drink like Miller Lite or something, dude, isn't it like 2% or 3%? I mean, if you're gonna start your scale with the entry level beers, 6.5 is more middleweight. We need a scale, man. We need the official ABOG.
All right. Well, you know what? We should. Yeah.
I'm going to argue. When you put that scale together and you do all the work, Shane, I'm going to shoot it down and say 6.5 is middleweight.
Exactly. We'll come down to like 0.4, 0.5%. Oh, well. But yeah, no, it's tasty, proper, Northwest IPA, inspired from a couple great IPAs from Seattle. One of the gents is a big fan of a couple of Seattle breweries, and people are inspired by things, and then they create things, and then people like me buy those things, and then come on this show and talk about those things. So
and drink those things.
Yeah, B&A, you say, hey?
B&A.
B&A, eh? How about you, Karl? What do you got in the glass?
Of it. Well, in the purple and green corner, weighing in at 4.7%, hailing from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, changing it up a bit. What can I say? This is Mikkeller, and it's a little craft brewery. What's that? Little craft brewery in Copenhagen, and they've got a couple of breweries dotted around the world. So they've got one in London over here. They've got one, I think, in San Diego, and I think they've got one in Singapore now, or at least like a bar, I think. But yeah, this is cool. This is just a nice little. What have we got here? Yeah, New England IPA, and it's super light and fresh. I'm loving the can design. It's got like a crazy lady and a scared looking husband in a little motorbike sidecar. It's 4.7%. Yeah, it's nice and light, and it's not too. It probably looks darker on the picture than it actually is, but it's very light and flowery. Like it's quite a sweet kind of almost lemony aroma to it. But it's really good. It's made from I forget the hop now, but it's lemon something hop. It's one I hadn't really heard of before, but yeah, thoroughly enjoying this one. It's a nice, easy drinking, great summer beer. Like when the sun's shining in the garden, pound a few of these. Good.
When you drink it, does it feel like you've just gotten your hair cut?
No, it's almost like the grass has been cut.
I don't think Karl remembers what a haircut feels like anymore. It's been so long.
Oh God, it's been 3 years, maybe. I don't know.
Feels pretty good, Karl.
Yeah.
Kind of like a beard trim, something else you haven't felt in a long time.
Yeah.
You trim it.
I have to do that in lockdown.
Yeah. I've got an Eagle Park. They're here in Milwaukee. And Muskego now. They've expanded. Because they've expanded to a bigger spot, they are now making a lot more of their beers. They used to previously have to drive down to their tap room, walk in, get some 4-packs, walk out. A little bit more of a hassle. But now I'm getting it in the grocery store, at the liquor store. Whole Foods is where I got this one. It's one of my favorites. It a little bit inspired, I would think, Shane, by your Northwest style IPA. Kind of
I'm listening.
A little pinier. And on the can, it's got a little pine tree. It's called the Needler. I've had this before.
Needler.
It's a different variety. Dual the Needler. And it's
so cool.
It's the needle double entendre, like a pine tree, but also the halo gun, the Needler. And he's getting some Needler bullets kind of chased after him there on the can. And he's with the double dry hopped New England style IPA. Because it's double dry hopped. This is dual the Needler. It's a variant.
Yeah, he's fired up.
He's got 2 Needlers. It's very good. Just a hazy style IPA with a little bit of that pine flavor to it. So kind of a little bit of a Northwoods bite to it.
Yeah.
Very good. Looks pretty much the same color as these two guys' beers. I think if we hold them up, they all look pretty much the damn same.
Damn. Yeah.
Shane's a little darker.
I got a little bit more malt action, I think.
Yeah, a little more amber in that.
Mine's lighter.
But raise your glasses. All right. Yeah. Cheers. Cheers, gents. Thank you to Octo and Arrow Zep and Psalm 67.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. You guys got 2 minutes to talk about your games. Go.
That's enough.
Nah. Right. Keep it tight, though.
Take her away, Palmer.
Okay. Well, I'll be pretty quick, to be fair. And it's 2 games, really. Astro's Playroom. Played it a bit last year. Enjoyed it. Thought it was a cracking little bonus when you picked up a PS5. Now, having played through it and platinumed it, and it's man, this game is amazing. Like for a packing game. And I'm winding Joel up here because I intimated earlier I was going to say some interesting stuff about it, but all I'm going to do is sing this game's praises. The nostalgia kick is unreal, and when you play through it, like it was an easy one to just go through and pick the trophies up, and it's one of them games. It does interesting things to get those trophies. It's like it encourages you to do a couple of random things, fun, cute things. It's just such a wonderful game. It really shows off the controller in just every way. You know, the different suits you put on, the different ways that you move around the levels. And it just uncovering all the old items, the old bits of gaming hardware, and just little nods on all the levels. You've got little robots wearing all the different outfits and different games and stuff. It's awesome stuff. But I thought about you guys the other day. So I was playing through one of the later levels in the game, and just a little Joel and Ellie, and one of the little robots around the corner. He's got a lot of mushrooms on his head. Oh, he's just scowling, and I was like, amazing. Oh man, it's just you play through it with a smile on your face. Like it's pure joy. And it's phenomenally well done. Like I was explaining to the boy, he played it not long ago, and I was like, look, it's kind of like a Mario Odyssey. It feels like a AAA game. It's so much fun, and I loved it. I just had to finish it up and get that platinum.
It's easy to see a game like this on a new console with some brand new controller tech and think it's tech demo, whatever. But it's a lot more than that, and it is a excellent game. I haven't gotten the platinum like Karl has yet, but now I guess I have to step my milk game up and get that one done. Start chipping away at it. But it is, man. It's so charming, and just all that old PlayStation nostalgia that's in it. They. For a packing game, they knocked it out of the park. You couldn't have asked for a better packing game for PlayStation 5 with all the new tech and everything going forward, and then come up with something like this that is just loads of fun. And you're smiling the whole time you're playing it too. Yeah. It's just really great.
And I did right at the end of the game, and I won't spoil it, but there is a surprise. There's like a little bit extra you have to do at the end, and I was blown away by that. I was like, this is so fun to kind of throw it in right at the end. And the soundtrack as well, man. Just the music's so catchy and cute, and it just, everything about it's just polished. So I just wanted to mention it again, just so what a great game that is. If you do get your new PS5, don't sleep on it. Don't, it's a pre-installed demo game. Like, it's a proper game, and play it, enjoy it.
Exactly.
You'll have a smile on your face. Next up, Persona 5 Strikers, and this has actually been out for like a year in Japan. It's just took a while to get the transcribing for the West release. So it came out last week, and played through probably about 5 hours now. Just haven't had as much time to game as I would like, but not been able to put this down. If you like Persona 5, it kind of follows straight on from that game. Literally, the kids are broken up, they've finished school, and they all kind of meet back up in the holidays, and they're like, oh, we're going to hang out, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden, some new stuff starts happening. The metaverse is back, and it's a whole new array of adventures, and it just feels like the sequel to Persona 5. It's not a JRPG, though. It's not a turn-based fighting game. The actual gameplay and the combat is kind of like Dynasty Warriors, like the kind of like you versus 20, 30 dudes, and it's a bit of button mashing, a bit of kind of attacking in the other characters, using their abilities. You've got your own personas to use as well, and it all just works so well. I'm absolutely loving it so far, and it's a similar kind of approach. Rather than having palaces to go through, you've got jails, and again the story unfolds little bit by little bit, and it's pretty damn good so far. Again, only 5 or 6 hours in really at the minute, but really enjoying this. It kind of ignores Persona 5 Royale, which came out last year, I think. It doesn't really do anything to do with those characters. It kind of just ignores that it ever existed. So if you've enjoyed that bonus content at the end of Persona 5, forget about it. But I also would say, if you are going to play this game, you need to play Persona 5 before, or at least be familiar with it. Watch the anime or whatever. But yeah, don't go in cold, because it won't make much sense. But yeah, man, this game, really good. Really good so far. Loving it.
And you're a big fan of the series. You're a big Persona.
No. I do like. I mean, Persona 5 is the first one I played, but I have got a few of the others as well. So I've gone back and played Persona 4 Golden. So I'm a little way into that. And this is just a nice chewing gum game, because it's not too complicated. The combat is interesting enough to keep it varied, and you can switch all the characters. You get all the characters in your party straight away. So you can just play as all the guys, like you've literally just finished Persona 5, and you're taking your whole team straight into this. So yeah, it's plenty varied enough, and the characters are well done, and it's well written. The voice actors are the same. Like it just feels like just more Persona, man. It's great.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
I respect a lot of good voice acting. I mean, there's some big guys out there, Nolan North and whatnot. Absolute legends, that also star in Dirt 5.
What?
Which I was kind of blown away. Yeah, they got some decent voice acting.
That podcast series in there, though, dude. Oh, it's it's excruciatingly awful.
Exactly, to have such two of the giants in voice acting and video games and whatnot, and they're doing a podcast in a racing game. Really,
it's not good. The game's good, but that part of it is not good.
Yeah, man. People are like, hey, man, you gotta play Dirt, because you like racing games, right? I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I do, but I don't like like rally racing. I'm not a big off-road racing enthusiast. We'll say I like my tarmac. That's where I personally shine. Where I can, hone my skills. And so I played I think it was like Dirt 4, and I didn't really like it, but that's okay. And then I saw Dirt 5, and it's like, man, that game, man, it's really, really pretty, but it's a dirt game. So it's like, I'm not going to like it. And then it was on sale, and I've been on the fence for so long, man. I've been like texting people, right? Like Joe and Karl, you can message people really quickly on your phone and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, man, it's really arcadey, but it's that's what people are saying about the last one. So I'm kind of dragging this on because it's a really good conversation. But Dirt 5, I bought it.
Dude, I recommended it on the show. I mean, come on.
That's all you need.
Right? So
I did go back and listen to Joel's impressions and thoughts on it. I actually did, and that actually helped push me over the edge and hit that purchase button. I'm not making this up. I actually did. I went back, listened to it, and
forgiven.
That was because there's some mixed things about it. People die, it's too arcadey and whatnot. So I went and did it, and I've been playing it, and man, I'm actually really enjoying this one.
There you go.
This one feels more like MotorStorm,
totally,
than the other ones. Man, this one is a little bit kind of different, a little bit off to the side, I'd say, in the Dirt series.
I tried a track to forms like MotorStorm. It's a lot of road racing like MotorStorm. Lots of variety of vehicles like MotorStorm.
I keep thinking there's a boost button That's how motorstormy this game is, man. You're like whipping around there. It's like, all right, where's that boost? I need that boost action, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. Yeah, the narration, that podcast that kind of goes on was really odd and pretty dumb, actually.
Very dumb.
I'll say. But the actual races, and I'm playing on the PS5, and it's beautiful, man. There's that one track, I think it's in Norway, and you got like the Northern Lights. It's pretty insane, man. I've been taking like a lot of photos while I'm playing that game too. I mean, if you head over to our Instagram page, I posted a bunch of screenshots that I was pretty proud of. So go on there and like chirp me and tell them they're crap and knock me down a couple pegs because it's yeah, exactly. So I've been like pacing myself going through this game because I want to start streaming this and like getting on there, and then that way people can like come in and like chirp me and tell me I suck while I'm playing it, because that's always good and that'll make me do a little bit better, I think. Joel had mentioned, and here's proof that I actually went back and listened. He wasn't a big fan of the sprint event.
No.
And that first one, yeah, that's yeah, those events, they can like fornicate themselves pretty well. That is absolutely. I had a theory that was kind of like, oh, well, we got to have like some sort of like American influence in it. So it's like, all right, let's find that shitty race where that NASCAR driver that was high on meth and then killed a guy. Let's put that type of racing in there, and that'll show off like the American heritage or whatnot. I guess, I don't know, but yeah, that first sprint race, that was awful. And then the second one came out and I'm like, oh man, not this again. But then it turned out it was like on ice, and I was using like the Ford Focus on there, and I was just tearing it up. I was ripping around. And then I got to the third sprint event, and now we're back to that dirt track, and like I'm just glad I didn't get lapped, man. Like, see, this is why I got to save some events and get in there and start streaming, man. Get you guys in there and just knock me down a peg, man. That'll be a lot of fun. But all in all, man, Dirt 5 is really cool, man. I'm actually really, really impressed, and I'm very surprised at how much I'm really enjoying this iteration. It's excellent. I mean, there's just get past the narration and the core of the game. The racing itself is actually really, really good. Yeah. I think with Codemasters getting guys from the Evolution Studios and whatnot, their racing games have taken a step up since then. I wasn't a fan of the studio and their racing games for the longest time. I didn't really like them, but with I think it was F1 2019, it was like, whoa, man, they really stepped it up. And now Dirt 5 is like, all right, man, I'm fully on. I'm like can't wait to see what they do next. So it's good. Really, really good game. Really, really surprised.
Nice. Yeah, I've actually downloaded this the other day, mate. And, I thought I'd wait for your comments before jumping in. But both of you, wait a minute, both of you have enjoyed it, so I want to make sure you both have different approaches to racing games. So
that is,
I thought if it ticks both the boxes, then I'll buy it and I'll play it. But I didn't need to buy it.
We're just a couple of boxes now, do you?
Yeah, just That's how I see you. That's literally how I see you every other week. Your 2 boxes. Do you know why I didn't need to buy it though? It's on Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it. I bought it before it was on Game Pass. So give me the sucker award here.
Hold on.
Oh, dude.
But you know what I like about the game, Shane, and you didn't hit on it, is the fact that it's very casual to the extent the races are like 3-4 minutes a piece. There's a couple rally races, but for the most part, if you got 10 minutes or 20 minutes and you don't want to bite off too much, you just want to sit down, have some fun, and shut her down and do something else, it's a perfect game for that. It's been completely my style lately. Haven't been doing a lot of gaming, but if I got half hour, I'm like, and I don't want to remember where I was in my big, campaign game I'm playing, just play some Dirt 5. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not so complicated that you have to remember all the mechanics. It's very arcadey, casual, open, but still has a decent level. I think I may have to bump the difficulty up though, Shane. It's not hard to win races on the default setting.
See, I was naturally winning a lot of races, right? Of course, and I was online chatting with B and whatnot, and I'm like, dude, man, I'm just crushing it. He's like, oh man, He's like, what difficulty? You playing on easy? Right? Like half chirping, I believe now at the time of recording. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I didn't know you could change the difficulty. And I'm playing on medium, and like I'm just waiting for some sort of competition to come. And it ain't coming. Believe me, it's not coming. Like, it's been like a bloodbath out there.
It strokes the ego, though. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why, you know. You can
hit a few walls and still win a race. But I'm still, because of the way the car will take a beating, and then when you're on the trophy stand at the end, they show your car just like completely disheveled and leveled and bent up. It's like,
well, I haven't seen that.
I'm trying to like do. It's motivating me to have cleaner races, because you get there are sub objectives. Is that a word? There's different objectives in each race besides winning, like being in the lead for 20 seconds or overtaking 10
trading
cars.
paint, or
it's all that stuff that really kind of helps add like another layer of fun to each race.
Yeah, very drive clubby. Very drive clubby. Like you mentioned, way back on episode 230 something ish, 28.
Game Pass, eh? That's cool. It's on Game Pass. Why do I buy anything? You know, I should just be patient.
Yeah.
Just wait. But when I got the Xbox Series X, I wanted something to show it off, and this is the game I picked up, because it does look next gen right. Like, and it has it has choices there. I don't know which mode you went with, Shane. You've got performance mode and like a higher res mode. And I actually are playing performance mode, which is a solid 60 frames. Just like locked 60 frames.
Nah, man, I'm going higher res now.
Are you?
Yeah, I went with a higher res. And it's gorgeous. Yeah. Actually, real quick, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the remaster that came out in the fall, they just this past week had a big patch that came in and added support for PS5 and Xbox Series X. So if you download it on those, if you have it and you play it on those, there's an extra graphics mode in there called Maximum, and the game looks absolutely stunning now. Like, it's a big like playing in proper 4K. Like, wow. And I think they tweaked a little bit of the handling too, man, because the game plays so much better now. It's really wild. I haven't played in a couple months, and then I heard the patch was in there, so I went and just went on to check it out, see if it's the real deal. And it certainly is. It's fantastic. Looks really, really good now. So been enjoying playing that as well. So we'll have to pencil that one in one of these days.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a good game. Really good game.
You know, we Karl and I, we've been streaming a little bit here. You know, once a month, get in there and streaming. You know, we got to think of something for March, man. Maybe throw it out to the community if they want to see us play something. You know, maybe go head to head, or you know, see what's happening, man. Because we usually rock a little FIFA. We did the Destruction All Stars. We fired that up last month, so we should see. Well, people, you know, want us to see us go head to head in something, you know, for March.
That's a good shout. So we're probably talking, where are we? Saturday the 13th of March, I think. So yeah, you know, you guys have got a good 10 days or so. You know, let us know. Chuck us your suggestions, and you know, if there's something you think we should play, we'll try and get on it for you.
That's always a good time, and you know, get me into streaming a bit more. So
yeah, dip your toes into the jacuzzi, baby.
Right, get your feet wet.
Yeah, we get over an hour and it's just like, screw it. Let's just keep going. Let's make it 3 hours now.
No. Too late.
Right?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Just
we've got a new dog in the house, man. It's been hard going. It's like having a newborn child, right?
I don't really care how your brisket turns out, so
smoked.
But I do care about beers. I care. It's not that I care about beer. I care about the conversation while drinking beer. I always said that the reason I love beer and whatnot is because of the pace in which you drink it at. To me, that's what I love most about beer. And the other best part is the conversation happens while drinking said beer, much like this podcast.
It's a group hug time.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
No. Just saying. I'm saying.
All right, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you. And we'll see you then.
Sure do.
Yeah. Group hug. Bye.
Group hug. Peace. Good night.
Or good morning. Could be lunchtime.
Good night.
It's so good.